What's going on, everybody? This is Super Robot, and today we're going to talk about none other than the Age of the Prime's Voyager class BRAWL. Now, we know that he's a Voyager. The reason why he's a Voyager is because he's going to be the legs. Now, with the new way that they're supposed to be setting this up, I suspect the reason why we're paying more for him and Swindle, because BRAWL and Swindle are going to be legs of the new Age of the Prime's version of the Bruticus. It doesn't have the same exact frame system. If you remember with Menasor and Superion, the four limbs were all basically deluxes because they are being supported by the frame. This time around, they BRAWL and Swindle will form feet. They basically will literally form a feet, and they're going to connect to, I guess, like the upper leg to the torso that becomes Bruticus. I understand that there may be feet plates. I think that they're going to go below them, but they're not going to have the same frame system. And this is why we're going to be paying more for him, because he's got to have more weight to support the robot. This is going to be very similar to what is with Devastator, as far as what you get with Mixmaster and Scrapper being Voyagers, because of the fact that they are actually legs and there's no frame system. But first things first, we'll look at the tank. And tank mode is good. It's a tank. Now, the cool thing about it, it's a tank that doesn't have to use the turret of the gun to form some ugly looking weapon. It is the strangest looking way to do something. And that's with both Combiner Wars and Unite Warriors. They both had that a way of using like the weapons from, you know how you do, you know how it goes. It's never a good time when that happens. So, we just have to deal with it. Now, this is the foot mode. Now, these pictures come from someone else. The first set of pictures and the other set will be not Rab. The rest will be for someone, I forgot their name. Basically, he shows off the foot mode and how it is next to such case as, there you go, Scrapper. And I think that's pretty good because now we get a better idea of what we're going to be dealing with once we get our hands on this guy. Now, for myself, I'm ready to get them. We got to hurry up and finish getting our collecting in, because if we don't, hey, it sucks for us, right? I drink some tea there. But typically, being in foot mode and seeing how it articulates, and wow, it's got a crazy bend there. This thing is going to be ultra sturdy. I think they're going to be really heavy. Now, the robot mode shows very similar patterns here. We get to see some great coloration. Finally, he's more cohesive. And I explain that because both Combiner Wars and Unite Warriors had that weird waist thing that I hated. We had to try to figure out how to get his waist together. I never really liked Combiner Wars overall. I was always thinking there was something better, but we had what we had, so I just accepted that's what we would have. And so we got this. So don't try to come at me. I'm telling you the truth. But basically, he does look good. And like I said, oh, by the way, if you don't like this video, get the fuck out. Anyway, we don't give a fuck about you. Why he look like he got two happy faces on his shins there? That's just something I saw, that's all. Now on to this thing where the toy has broken. So it looks like, there was a QC issue with the figure. Now, some people literally in the comments have said that this person's very rough with their figures, but how do you know how rough they are if you're not standing there with them? Okay, so that sounds kind of idiotic. He could very well have gotten a figure where the parts were wrong and loosened or whatever, and he got this. So we can't just assume that he was manhandling his toys. If it's a QC issue, it's one of those things where you just go, man, here we go again. I know a lot of people don't really like to have to deal with that. It's not a fun time. And as you can see here, it's, it looks like it's kind of like a not good experience. And some people say there were stress marks on the figure. Again, I don't have them, so I'm not going to say anything, but we know Hasbro and we know QZ. And so it's possible, but I'm on the realm side of, let's see some more. Let's hear some more. There are people that haven't really heard anybody else say anything about a QC issue, so I don't know. But it happened to this guy, and this is the picture we're going to report. Other than that, for what else we see, and basically not Rab has his, it doesn't look like there's any issues, but he didn't turn him into foot mode, or maybe he did, he just didn't upload the pictures. I have no idea. But the one thing that I can tell you is this thing looks good. I hope it doesn't break when I get mine. If it does, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. But I don't know. I got to get mine in hand, and of course, I'm going to get all 6 members of Combaticons without question. So yeah, I guess that's it. So what are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. I mean, we can squawk about QC and this and that till the cows come home, or maybe some people feel dejected because the price is kind of high. But that's neither here nor there. What are your thoughts? This is Super Robot Ed bringing more news reveals to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.